is the night that Junior Witter has waited so long for in his career. Sidetracked, snubbed, avoided, ignored because he wasn't marketable, or perhaps because he was too dangerous for promoters to pitch in with their favoured fighters. Now, after all this time, at the age of 32, he gets the chance on home soil to fight for the WBC title. He did have a previous world title opportunity against Zab Judah 6 years ago at Hampden Park in Glasgow, but that was at 9 days' notice, and he was a bit too raw at that time for it to mean much. I think the big question is, has he really got it at this level, and has the chance come too late?
Well, the chance certainly come too early last time against Zab Judah with not enough preparation. This time he's had some preparation. It's took an awful long time to get this opportunity, but it's here now. In the meantime, he's done everything that's been asked of him, British, Commonwealth and European, so he's earned this chance. He's number one by the WBC with Corley, number two. Now's the moment. He's talked a lot, now he's got to fight the fight.
Had a long chat with Junior Witter this week, and he says that Corley will be very, very surprised by his speed and power. We'll see. This is a guy who's paid his dues in the business. Junior Witter from Bradford steps into the ring. Is this his destiny? Let's just check the vital statistics here. They are both 32. In fact, they were born within a week of each other, these two. They're both 5'7". Witter has a better reach. Corley was 1¼ pounds lighter at the weigh-in yesterday. They both had 36 fights as well. Witter's only been beaten by Zab Judah. Corley beaten 4 times, notably by Judah as well, Mayweather and Cotto in his career, world-level operators. And the odds for this fight look like this. Well, they have Witter as a 13-8 on favourite. That does surprise me. Corley at 6-5 against, with the draw at 20-1. Maybe the bookmakers think the home advantage is going to kick in favour of Junior Witter tonight. It's a fascinating occasion here, a big fight occasion, and Mike Goodall to do the introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, the officials appointed for this contest by the World Boxing Council in association with the British Boxing Board of Control, the supervisor Prince Olade Adobe of Nigeria, the steward in charge Mr. Phil Lundgren, the timekeeper Mr. Michael McCann. The judges scoring the contest at ringside on the 10-must system, Mr. Alfred Balquana of South Africa, Mr. Bob Logist from Belgium, and Mr. Halacio Perez of Mexico. And when the action begins, the third man in the ring, our referee this evening from Italy, Mr. Massimo Bartivecchio. Ladies and gentlemen, live and exclusive on Sky Sports Friday Fight Night from Alexandra Palace, London, promoted by Hennessy Sports and sponsored by PartyPoker.com. This is the main event of the evening and World Championship Boxing. A contest of 12 3-minute rounds to decide the WBC vacant light welterweight championship of the world. Between and introducing the boxers, and firstly, fighting out on the blue corner, wearing the right trimmed with red, coming from Washington DC, weighing in at 9 stone 12¼ pounds. He brings to the ring a 36-fight professional record, 31 wins, 17 wins coming by way of knockout with 4 losses and 1 draw. He's the former WBO light welterweight champion of the world and ranked by the WBC at number 2, presenting DeMarcus Chop Chop Corley. And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, across the ring in the red corner, wearing the multicoloured trunks, coming from Bradford in England, weighing 9 stone, 13 and a half pounds, coming to the ring tonight with a 36-fight professional record, 33 wins, 19 wins by way of knockout win, 1 loss and 2 draws. He comes to the ring as the former undefeated British, Commonwealth and European light welterweight champion and ranked #1 by the WBC, presenting Bradford's own Junior the Hitter Witter. The referee will now give his final instructions to both boxers.
Taping being done on Junior Witter's gloves. Referee does a final inspection of that. Bound to be a few butterflies.
Remember
Italian
that I
referee
said in dressing room
for this fight.
Very, very important. No rabbit
Massimo
punch.
Barovecchio.
Okay, no rabbit punch. Very, very important. No kidney, no low blow.
Witter's trained
Okay?
long and hard, 3 times a day, running the hills of Sheffield near Brendan Ingles' famous Wincobank gym.
12 3-minute rounds for the WBC Light Welterweight Championship of the World.
Is this the night then for Junior Witter, who's been so long in the shadows, and they're still making a point here, Dominic Ingle, about a problem with Corley. They want him just wiped down. They think there's too much grease around his body. So we've got a little bit of drama even before we start here. Just making a psychological point. I'm sure Witter really needed that. I think he just wants to get on with it. So here we go. How does Witter go about this? He's a switch hitter normally. Witter, the hitter, that's what he calls himself. Only beaten once in his career and not beaten at all in the last 18 fights over 6 years since his only defeat against Zab Judah. Awkward southpaw Corley just slipping over in the opening seconds of the fight. He can hit, and Witter will have to watch that. Witter hasn't fought for 11 months and Corley for a year. Unusual in the build-up to a big fight at the weight like this.
Well, but the good thing is it's similar for both of them, so there might be just a bit of ring rust.
They are natural counter-punching types, these, so I think there might be an element of cat and mouse. Who leads, who counters. Witter goes for it a bit in the opening round. I think he wants to let Corley feel his power. This is a man who reeled off a little matter of 15 straight wins at one point in his career, inside 5 rounds, Junior Witter.
It's quite important, I think, for Witter to try and be the boss early on. Let Corley feel the power of his punches.
One problem with Junior Witter, he hasn't looked quite in the same form over the last 3 fights or so. Working away busily. I think this is the night he's going to let all the frustration of the previous years be wiped out. That's the plan anyway. Corley will have other plans.
Witter looks like he's trying to plant his feet. He's going to get a bit of power up from the legs into his punches, but in doing so just leaving the chin in the air.
Good speedy skills. Witter is looking for the uppercut there, and you saw that travel at blinding speed. Corley gets in almost for the first time with a left hand. Corley's got enough of a dig to have shaken up Floyd Mayweather a little, and Miguel Cotto as well, two of the elite operators. In fact, he had Cotto rocking quite badly for a while.
Witter's the one that's looking to lead with that left jab. Maybe a little more successful.
just that bit busier in the opening round, Witter. And he has to be positive, can't go to sleep. Now he's set ball, and they'll switch back again, looking to confuse and bemuse Corley, who will have watched tapes, or his camp will anyway. Probably Witter shading the first round. Welcome back to the grand venue of the Alexandra Palace up on the hill in North London. One of the homes of broadcasting, and one of the first TV broadcasts from here. It was set fire to once as well. They've had a lot of big occasions up here.
Witter tried to get punches off, landed with a few more jabs, just a bit busier early on.
Advice from Brendan Ingle to Junior Witter between the rounds was win this one round at a time. Well, he's put maybe one of the rounds in the bank. The Ingle camp have produced, of course, world champions Prince Nassim Hamed and Johnny Nelson, who's still a world champion up at cruiserweight, with us tonight in the studio, of course. Corley's looking for counters, you sense, looking for one moment to explode, detonate one of his heavy punches.
And that's the problem in there, Ian. Both of these boxers are natural counter punchers. It'll be a little like a chess match as they try to feint the lead of the other boxer, one looking for the other one to make mistakes.
All dressed up with somewhere to go, Junior Witter, with his nickname emblazoned in red into his hair. Just trying to kid Corley and find a gap. Styles at the moment not gelling too well. There's always going to be a little bit of a danger here, given the natural inclination of both of these two to counter punch. I think Witter's most effective against somebody who comes straight at him, a brawler.
Yes, he is, but as the fight goes on, they'll find their openings. Mistakes will come, and they're both very, very sharp counter punches.
Witter. We had a very good win over Lovermore Endo, who's a fringe world-class operator at this level. Corley finds an unusual angle for his shot as well. Of course, the intriguing prospect is that Junior Witter does become WBC champion. He becomes so much more marketable. He's got something to bring to the table for a possible showdown with Ricky Hatton. We've waited a long time for that. Hatton is moving back down to light welterweight, we're told.
He's trying to slam that left, Corley.
Just a shade busier, Witter. Not by much.
Just that bit more authority in there, hasn't he?
2 rounds gone, so far so good for Junior Witter. Brendan Ingle and Dominic Ingle in the corner.
Right, that's 2 rounds up, right, you must don't bring him in. Keep him on, pick him on. Let's keep it together now. He's going to try and start upping it there, Junior. Keep him on, don't go into a fight.
They seem happy enough so far. Here's the 3rd round of this. Witter again switches styles, leading first with the right, then the left hand. For the moment, fighting orthodox. He's done that all his career. The man who's won British, Commonwealth and European championships. He's done it the old-fashioned way. But he was too negative when he fought Zab Judah. According to the American TV people, they never wanted to show him again. And that harmed him greatly, even though it was a respectable performance at 9 days' notice. That was on the night that Mike Tyson appeared in Glasgow.
but he's grown up an awful lot since then. He's much stronger, much more experienced, and I think he feels he's ready for this opportunity now.
Now the fighter getting the jab off with much authority. And he walked onto that, won the counter-punching game there, Witter. Corley gave him the charge, left himself open.
Corley just being a little bemused, you sense.
Well, it's a bit like trying to work out a Rubik's Cube, isn't it? I think a few fighters have found that with Witter.
Corley tried with the double jab, falling short with that punch.
There are times when you think he should join the magic circle.
Oh, the punches missing, but it's Witter just getting the better of the counters.
That's better, good stuff. And Corley there just gave a little nod to Witter as if to say, yeah, that was a slick piece of work. You did me there. That was a punch after the referee had said break from Corley. He didn't come into the ring in one of his unusual get-ups. Tonight in the build-up to the fight, he actually admitted to wearing women's underwear on one occasion. I don't think we better go into that one.
That's more than we need to know.
Yep, too much information perhaps. I should say he's a father of 7.
Starting to open up with getting the better of it. Both dropping their hands, leaving themselves open.
That's a sign, really, I think, of how messy it can become with these two styles. That was almost comic cuts, wasn't it? A lot of fresh air shots. Says this is not about the money for him, it's about getting that green belt, that prestigious WBC belt. He'll think about the money later.
What kind of shot you get?
Welcome back to Alexandra Palace. Excerpts coming up from round 3. A closer round. Glenn, what do you think?
Well, Witter got the best of it there. Nice, quick right-hand counter. Just knocked Corley a little off balance. He recognised that, little nod of the head. Awkward for Corley, but he is very experienced. He's seen it all before.
But he is in with a tough man here, who knows what it's about at this level. I think he's really struggling, though, to understand or make anything of Junior Witter's style. Corley was once shot on the streets, shot in the leg by a couple of robbers. He's back in the gym in 14 days. Now, what's Witter up to here? He's playing mind games with Corley. What's all this about, he's thinking? Well, what is it about?
I'm not sure. I said Corley'd seen it all before. I don't think he's seen this before. That's what Witter does. He takes his opponent's mind off what he's going to do. Frustrates him. Corley then starts to forget about his game plan.
This is why he's been the president of the Who Needs Him club, really, Junior Witter. I mean, nobody'd admit it, I think, around the Ricky Hatton camp, either in the past or now, but I think the reason the fight didn't happen is because it was a high-risk fight against a difficult opponent with not much to be gained, because Witter wasn't much of a ticket seller. It might happen if he wins this WBC title, though, down the line. That could change things. Then he'd have a few marbles to play with, wouldn't he?
I think it would most definitely have to happen. 2 good shots from Corley there. That's better from him. Just showing Witter with that chin up in the air. That is a problem that he often has.
Just a feeling, too, that Witter's establishing some kind of psychological hold at the moment in the fight, too. He looks content, mentally relaxed, whereas Corley has the look of a slightly bemused operator. Wouldn't you be?
Well, hasn't done a great deal of clean scoring with that. Corley landed with a few good shots. There's another one. Just starting to get the timing right for me, Corley.
Bunt gets in with the left hand there. Interesting to see what the WBC judges are making of Witter's unique style. Somebody once said you can't win world titles with a Fred Astaire routine. It's not quite that.
Moves around, he's awkward, he's very different, but he still gets the shots off. And he is effective. What he does well.
Not landing very cleanly, neither men did really in that round. Let's get the views of Nigel Benn, who's watching this. Maybe we'll get the views of Nigel Benn later. We can see him though. There he is, looking in good shape as well, and his old adversary, Chris Eubank. Well, they put on that wonderful, wonderful fight in Birmingham, and not quite so good one in Manchester that ended in a draw. Still argue the toss about it.
Well, there's Junior Witter in a sword fencer-like stance. To the Errol Flynn's there, but having to take a few decent shots from Corley, who's just starting to find his rhythm, you feel.
A third of the way through the fight. It's the fifth round. Corley wants to make a statement early on. He won the WBO championship 4 years ago once against Felix Flores in dramatic fashion in the first round. Corley defended against Ena Julio, and the big punching Randall Bailey diffused him that night. Out of range, 1, 2, 3, 4 times with his jab. Witter. And that looked a bit on the low side. Corley had a word with the referee. Watch it. Certainly been no trash talking in the build-up to this fight from either man. He's getting a bit scrappy now, isn't he, Witter?
Yes, he is. Just losing his concentration, rushing in and just not getting the shots on, and then when he does get close, looking to hold.
Corley finds him with a good left hand. It sent the sweat spraying. Is that a little sign that DeMarcus Corley is beginning to work out the puzzle? He's got him with one there though. Witter saw that he had him hurt. Down he goes, it's only a slip, says Corley, and the referee, more crucially, the Witter knows he's got his man going. That's changed everything.
Really has found the shot he needed. He's hurt Corley.
Well, he said he'd surprise him with his power. Big breakthrough for Junior Witter.
Well, the unorthodox, the speed, the power, all comes together to make a very difficult fighter to face, Junior Witter.
Just exploded a shot. It caught Corley totally by surprise, and it's changed the mood of the fight. Just to the point where Witter was starting to get scrappy and a little frustrated, you felt. Can he do it again? If he can, he might really hit the jackpot. Nearly a left hand whipping in from Witter. Didn't quite manage to land flush. Cuffs him with the right hand and switch hits a bit. Looks for another right. He doesn't quite know where the punches are coming from, Corley. Keeps nodding at Witter as if to say, quite admired that. He's a big admirer of Pernell Whitaker, who was one of the slickest stylists you'll ever come across in the modern era.
Well, he's growing in confidence. Witter, he's looking for the big shots. Corley tucking up.
It's been a good round for the Bradford fighter.
Well,
Gets in with a left hand as well. Snappy work. Witter's round, big time.
All right. The reason you're happy is you're coming out way too far from this shit. Way too far out. You heard me?
Stitch Durand in the corner with Corley.
Give me some water. Yeah, now that's going to give him that motivation to come after you again. Keep your shots as straight as an arrow.
Well, this is where he goes onto the floor. That was the punch that did it, that right hand. His legs went into a silly dance.
Yes, they did. Very quick reactions from Witter. Bundled down, no knockdown. But it was a good, quick right-hand counter. Almost thrown from the hip. But he had power in the punch.
That's like you're tipping
He
around
was
up and giving him
almost
one
faster
bite.
than the eye could see when it happened, that shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, very quick. Just a reaction punch. That's what he's good at.
Into the 6th round. Could Witter build on that? A man who once had to make a living mending computers in offices. Says he couldn't do that anymore. The technology's moved way on while he's been in gyms keeping himself fit for his current career.
Until that good punch from Witter. Corley's starting to find the range, but Witter again comes back with a good right hand.
I think he just buzzed him a little bit with that one, you know, too.
Yeah, he certainly did.
Corley looked a little bit thoughtful. He was down against Mayweather, Judo and Cotto in those big fights, Corley, so he has visited the canvas. Remember, that was not an official knockdown in the last round. Again, the faster hands and the greater accuracy of Witter counting for him. If it is a chess match, he's the chess master in there at the moment.
Corley frustrated, doesn't know what to make of this style of Witter.
Oh, well, he might make something of that. He was caught by another heavy-looking right hand. And these punches may start to dispirit DeMarcus Corley. Who is this guy? That's what he might be starting to think. Witter mustn't get careless. He gets caught by a couple himself.
This Witter, when he sets himself, lifts his chin in the air. That's where Corley, who does punch, can catch him.
There's a bit of a spring in the step of Junior Witter at this point in the game. Maybe in those recent fights when he didn't look so good, he'd become a bit undermotivated and switched off a little, waiting for a night like this. Still a long way to go here, though.
From Witter, pushing Corley on the back foot. He's the one catching the eye and just give the whiskers there with a big left.
I think he fancies that he can take DeMarcus Corley out of here with one of these shots, you know. He might be right. He's had him going now a couple of times. At the moment, it looks good for Witter. We stress at the moment. Live here at the Alexandra Palace in North London. Junior Witter ahead here and looking the boss at the moment against DeMarcus Corley in this big fight for the WBC Light Welterweight Championship of the world. Here is the ultimate standoff. Crowd won't like this. Get booed out of the ring in Vegas, you try this. Talk about mind games. In the end, Corley won with the right hand. It's cat and mouse. Who's going to lead? They're trying to draw the lead and then look for a counter shot. Neither wants to go first. That's what that's about.
And they both fight a similar way. They are counter punches. They both want their opponent to lead first, and they're just neutralising each other here, aren't they?
Away at each other's gloves there, almost as if in some kind of strange ritual. Just breathing a little heavily when he went back to the corner at the end of the last round, Witter. Just keep a lookout for that, whether he can maintain the pace.
Corley needs to do more. He's waiting. Witter's still trying to get the jabs off, trying to force it more than Corley.
None of those punches landed. Not on the target area anyway. There he is, switching again. Thought of southpaw, back to orthodox again. Now you see me, now you don't.
Short little left hook landing from Witter. Not a lot of punches landed, but that tells you how good these boxers are at defense.
Yeah, the styles might not be to everybody's taste, Glenn.
No, they won't be, but you know, they're both very good technical boxers in there.
I don't think there's any point moaning about it. It's what they are, these two. Corley's almost waving him in there. Neither is going to play the other guy's game. That was a pretty ordinary round, in truth.
Control them, deep breathe. Give him off a minute. Deep breathe. 2 rounds. Listen to me, don't get complacent. A little breathing in between, but make sure you're just doing enough to do more than he is. Hold it to his jab, alright? Winner. Jump you 3 rounds up, but don't lay back on it.
John Ingle,
Vaseline.
father and sons. Now look at this. 2 statues in a world championship fight.
Yep, there's the mind games. Just staring each other out. Standoff. Who's going to lead first?
I thought for a moment there that Junior Witter was modelling for Madame Tussauds. He knew a thing or two about the psychological stuff, didn't he?
He certainly
Chris
did.
Eubank. Still wishing he was in there, I should think. Well, punches thrown so far, more by Witter, a lot more, really 100 more. He's landed more, but Corley a slightly better success rate. Don't know about your card, Glenn. I've got Witter quite significantly ahead at this point.
Yes, I've got him ahead. 3 points. 69-66 on my card. Still a fair way of this fight left to go.
And one moment from Corley could change everything, and he's produced moments like that throughout his career as well. Notably on the night he became WBO champion. He was supposed to have fought Witter around that time. Witter was WBO #1. He was first in line, but the fight never came to be. But it is now. Stopped trying to make sense of the boxing politics quite a long time ago. Another standoff.
Well, there's been a little too much of this, hasn't there, really?
Yeah, it's not good enough, is it?
These are top-line fighters, and you need to see them start to fight.
There's another element to it as well. Even if Witter did win this and becomes champion, the big American networks will want to be convinced that he's worth putting on.
That's right, marketability. You know, he's got to show he can really do it, and that people will enjoy watching him.
It's a good shot, that. Clever shot with the left hand. Corley again was left feeling a little silly as it came at him from an angle he wasn't expecting. These are occasional rapier thrusts from Witter. But it has to be said, the attacks are sporadic.
And he leaps in Witter, and when he does, he doesn't fight on the inside, he just looks to grab.
Witter grabs hold, Corley can't find any leverage. He's very frustrated, I think, the former world champion. Just can't get going in the fight, not really. There's a little counter of his own there with the right hand there from DeMarcus Corley.
A decent body shot with the left hand from Corley.
Quiet round. In fact, the last two have been quite quiet. Let's have a look at Junior Witter in that corner. He's just, yeah, I think he's okay.
They're just throwing the right hand, and then as he rushes in, getting the quick left hand counter, just to make Corley stumble a little bit. That's what he's good at, those quick reflex punches. Just smiles, Corley.
Ian. Alright, let me drink that. You're winning it. Come on. Give me some Vaseline, Simon. Give me some Vaseline.
By the way, no British fighter has held the major belt, the WBC belt, at any weight since Lennox Lewis was heavyweight champion of the world. Witter trying to do that tonight. Many governing bodies, but the WBC is the preeminent one. And I think they'd have to take notice of Witter should he win this fight. He probably is winning it at the moment. There's never any second guessing the judges in this business. Round 9. Witter on the right of your picture. Not quite landing flush with that right hand. I'll tell you something, from Corley's perspective, he's got to get going soon somehow.
He really has. He's got to start landing punches, better work rate. He's got to up the tempo. He's got to try something different, because what he's doing is not working. Witter getting the better of it. He's making Corley fight his fight.
Almost holding up that right glove like a cobra about to strike Witter at times. Just about getting on towards the finishing stretch of this now, the 9th. But plenty could still happen. Again, smart work. Drew him in, clipped him a couple of times. Corley has to go away and think about it all over again.
That's exactly what he does well. Just draws the opponent in, good counters, and then he's nowhere to be seen, or he ties his man up.
He really is the kind of fighter that gives most other fighters a nightmare. And then when Zab Judah fought Junior Witter, he said, if I'd known it was going to be a track meet, I'd have brought my running shoes. It's not been like that tonight. He's been more positive.
Yes, he's been right in front of Corley. He's been trying to lead off most of the time, and he's getting through the better counters again. Nice little left hand going in from Witter.
But it has to be said, the approach of the two fighters here and their styles has meant, to a certain extent, a bit of a draining of the drama too often. A clever, switch-hitting, counter-punching fight from Junior Witter. It's getting the job done at the moment. Welcome back to Alexandra Palace. The crowd here wondering if this is going to be Junior Witter's crowning night. He's landed 25 more punches so far. But I have to say this, is this the kind of fight that the American television bosses are going to look at and then be falling over themselves to put on Witter against Ricky Hatton?
Well, it's not, but they're two different styles. Hatton is not a counterpunch, he's a come-forward type, and I think that could make it a whole different spectacle if that were to happen. Two very negative fighters in here, but two very good fighters. Good speed, good reaction, and very good defense.
Somewhere Junior Witter's wife Karen, I'm sure, will be watching this on TV. She's not in the arena. Maybe she can't even bear to watch on television, I don't know. A lot of coach loads of fans from Sheffield and Bradford have come here to watch Junior Witter in this his biggest night after waiting so long. Corley does get home, clips in a little right hand. He needs more of those though. He needs to make a dent in Witter, in his confidence, but he just can't do it, not yet. He did make a dent in Otto for a while, he did make a dent even in Mayweather for a while.
Corley's going to have to take some risks now. You know, he's standing off, he's been defensive, he needs to let the shots go. This fight's just going to run away from him.
How do you solve a problem like Junior Witter?
But Witter does leave himself open, the chin does come up. He's got to find that chin, Corley. He's got to start throwing shots with a little more venom.
No knockdown there.
A lot of Corley's shots are single shots. You know, he needs to cut the ring off, get close, start throwing combinations.
The only fighter who's been hurt in the fight, it seems to us, is Corley a couple of times. Witter seems to have the edge in power, which not everybody had predicted. Two rounds to go after this. And I think Witter's lead is a pretty handy one, don't you, at this point?
Yes, I think it is. I think he's just pulling away. Corley seems to have slipped into thinking he's in second place and doesn't seem to really want to go for it. I think maybe he was hurt quite a bit earlier on. And he's certainly got respect for Witter's power.
Bell goes to end another round. 6 minutes to go here for the WBC's light welterweight championship of the world at Alexandra Palace. And Junior Witter, well, we think, Glenn and I, in a very, very useful lead here. Maybe the kind of lead where DeMarcus Corley now needs a stoppage or knockout.
Yes, certainly does on my card, and I'm sure on yours. Just pulled away at Witter, just doing more of it. Corley doesn't seem to be able to solve the problems that Witter is setting him.
Glenn's card coming up for you. 6-point gap now. So yeah, if that's right, Corley does need something very spectacular. just wonder a little bit with him. He's been Floyd Mayweather's sparring partner for a year or so now in Vegas. Whether he's just developed a little bit of the sparring partner mentality.
Yes, I think since he got hurt a little bit off Witter, that's what's happened. You know, he's thought about defence. You know, he's been concentrating on just avoiding the punches of Witter and not trying to solve out and sort through his defences.
If Witter does win this, it would mean everything to him. And I think it would set him up a bit financially as well. But has he wooed America successfully? Is it enough of a spectacle? That was a hurtful body punch. He felt that one as well, I think, Corley. It's a good shot. Again, he's playing with him a little. You have to say, Glenn, it's not a spectacular by any stretch of the imagination, but Witter is bossing it in his own way.
Yes, he certainly is. And Corley come here with good credentials. We know what his form's like. And, you know, Witter's been the boss in there. And Corley, you know, hasn't been able to handle the style. And I think certainly the power has upset him.
Should Corley be trying something different?
Well, I think he should have tried something different a few rounds ago. You know, he looks as if he's just settled into the knowledge that he's not going to get this.
It's easier said than done, though, isn't it, with this guy?
He's very difficult. Good defence, good speed, and very awkward stance.
There's a bit of blood on the white shorts of Corley. Just check where that might be coming from. Hard to see. He's going through his own little dance routine in there now, Witter. Confidence flowing.
Good shot there from Corley. Still a solid left hand.
Look to sucker him. And then whipping the left hand from wide. Witter didn't quite work for him that time.
Callum, deep here. We're at this round, we've got a boxing. Wet one, Simon, wet one.
Come on, nice and clever, Junior. Nothing stupid, but keep the word from.
Deep breathe, deep breathe, deep breathe, deep breathe. Right up, come on. This is the last one. All right.
You've got to win this round. You don't want to pose and mess around this round, Junior. Keep orthodox with him.
It's that jab.
You got it.
When you start working that jab, everything comes off the top of it. You listening?
Yeah,
you want a bit
do you understand?
Just get stupid
Junior,
with shots.
just a nice dance, but be walking. Use your feet and walk like you done it when you're done with the deal.
Listening.
You got me? Don't let him come back in.
Don't let him this round, Junior. It's all going to be on last round.
Well, they seem a little concerned in that corner. They're all talking at him.
Maybe it's just excitement and they want not to make any mistakes in this last round.
Final round. Witter says something to Corley through the gum shield, and something more too as they start the round. Just can't help switch hitting. Sometimes he does it almost every 5 seconds. He's the ultimate switch hitter, isn't he, Junior Witter?
Yes, very much part of his style, but he does it well, adds to the confusion.
Well, there'll be massive celebrations if he does do it in that Brendan Ingle gym. Corley with a heavy-looking right hand. We stress again, no telling exactly what the three judges are seeing here from South Africa, Belgium and Mexico.
Well, there hasn't been a great deal of punches landed cleanly, so difficult the way you see it.
There I remember Michael Brodie of Manchester in a WBC title fight, and we thought he'd beaten Willie Horine, didn't we? He didn't get it. It was a bit of an outrage, so you never can tell. Good right hand, again well disguised by Junior Witter.
He's been stealing those shots all the way through this fight, and the shots haven't come back from Corley.
He's never going to be as exciting a fighter as Ricky Hatton. He won't thank me for saying that. He isn't, but he's a very good fighter in his own way.
Yes, he's very effective in what he does, and that's what counts.
I think you have to say too that the style has stood the test of top world level here.
Yes, it has. He's always looked strong. You know, he's never give ground. He's never looked to run. Witter always stood right in front of Corley and pretty much busted for me.
Corley's ever really had him in any serious trouble at any point in the fight. It's got a bit messy at times though. It's been frustrating on the eye. But mixed in with that has been some clever counter punching.
I think it's the other way around. It's been messy most of the time, and there's been a bit of boxing here and there.
Okay, agree. Last few seconds. Has Witter done it? Is this to be his crowning night after all the years of frustration? He thinks so. He puts his hands up to the crowd. He salutes. The crowd think he's won it. He thinks he's won it. The Americans are trying to kid everybody that Corley has got it. Glenn and I don't think so. Witter, it looked to us, did his job well, but we await the verdict from the three judges.
Yes, difficult one, 2 score. But for me, just edging it every round, or a lot of the rounds, was Witter. You know, just the boss, just looking to lead off, a little more accurate.
Let's have a look back over the highlights of the fight.
Well, Witter trying to get in pretty quick with some good fast shots early on, but each one landing here and there with the counters, and then the breakthrough. That's where Witter really stung Corley, and I think that was the turning point in the fight. He became the boss. 6th again, landing with decent shots.
So you look at this, and nearly all the significant heavy punches have come from Witter.
Exactly. You know, he led the fight. He was the boss.
I mean, look at this. I mean, it's 36 minutes distilled into 30 seconds, and you'd have to say Witter had won the fight. We think he has, but I think experience has taught both Glenn and I to wait. This is what the computer says. 86 landed by Witter, 57 by Corley. Not many, frankly. Slightly better success rate from Corley. And Glenn McCrory's final card looks like this.
Yep, big winner on my card. Everything pretty much from the 5th round on, 119, 111 in Witter's favour.
I've got him as a pretty big winner too. But there is a bit of tension as always. Dominic Ingle comes down and looks across the ropes and waits for a bit of reassurance. Nobody's ever quite sure. The three judges: Alfred Bukwana, South Africa; Bob Logius, a very experienced official from Belgium; Galacio Perez of Mexico. Witter holds up his hands, and we're ready now with the verdict. Here's Mike Goodall.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards, where we have a unanimous decision. Judge Alfred Bukwana scores the contest 117-111. Judge Bob Logis scores the contest 118 to 112. Judge Galesio Perez scores the contest 116 to 113. All three in favour of the winner and the new WBC light welterweight champion of the world, Junior Witter!
What a night for Junior Witter. It was no spectacular, but he bossed it all the way, and he's a big winner on the scorecards. And now he can call himself the champion of the world.
Corley!
And I'm pleased for him after all the years that he's had to wait, all the frustration.
Yes, he's finally done it. I know it meant an awful lot to him. He's very, very happy in there, and he's deserved it. It's been a long route. He's won everything that's asked of him, and it's all paid off.
It's a great night for Junior Witter. He's waited so long. Now he is a world champion.
The green belt is finally in the proud possession of Junior Witter. He's had to wait so long, almost breaking into a smile. There it is. And that meant so much for him. WBC light welterweight champion of the world. He's had opportunities to win other belts and fight for other belts in years gone by.